Ito, may
So
tanong ako.
yun.
One of the, again, distinct na lumalabas doon sa mga surveys nyo since last year, and even, since last year more specifically, may gap between yung approval and trust numbers ni BBM as compared kay VP Sara. So, to what do you attribute that? Tingin talaga ng mga tao, mas sablay yung performance ni BBM at mas okay si Sara? Or is this a reflection of yung political basis nila because nag-split yung unit team?
Well, pareho. Although makikita natin, for example, pag hindi may mabawi, no?
Yeah.
Yung approval at trust, yung balance of Luzon, kay Bongbong Marcos, majority pa rin ang approval at trust ratings niya doon eh. And when you talk about the balance of Luzon, we're not just talking about regions 1 and 2, which is about just 10%, less than 10% of the balance of Luzon. You're talking about the largest region there is region 4A. That's not necessarily the bailiwick of the president, right? Although, masasabi mo na doon galing si Doremunia, pero doon din galing si Balsaga. So, doon, makikita mo, pero bumababa ang presidente. Mababa ang presidente sa NCR, which was an area where in 2016, actually, he was polling better than VP Lenny in the pre-election surveys. And I think he did better even in the actual election result.
Yeah, 2022.
In the National Capital Region in 2016. And of course in 2022 because of the unit team. But the reason why the president's numbers appear to be stagnant is really because of the low approval and trust ratings in two areas, the Visayas and Mindanao. Kasi Visayas, ang base lang naman yan dyan, Eastern eh, di ba?
Yeah.
Definitely, mas malaki proportion ng ibang mga areas, no? Negros and Central Visayas for that matter. And Mindanao, his disapproval and distrust is at the 70s eh. Kaya na-pull down. So yun yung kay BBM. So it's a combination of him being held accountable for certain things. I think more specifically, the lack of what appears to be the lack of resolve in terms of getting to the bottom of the flood control scandal, aside from the primary issues of continuing increases in the prices of basic commodities for that matter, or what we refer to as controlling inflation.
Yeah. Kay VP Sara, kasi you mentioned, isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit mababa yung numbers ni BBM ay he's polling very poorly sa Visayas at sa Mindanao. In contrast, kay VP Sara, yun naman ang kanyang strongest na mga areas, di ba? So, so can we say na lumalabas dito, a large part of the gap really is due to the fact na baluarte ni VP Sara yun eh, Mindanao. And then because of yung Bisaya affinity, Visayas, di ba? So, ano ba yun?
Yun. Although nagpipick up rin siya sa NCR, yun yung pag tingnan natin, yung Mindanao, pag tinitignan ko yung chart across the surveys that we've done since September 2022, 97% ang plus. So, ibig sabihin, pag in-apply yung margin of error, walang hindi nagtitiwala sa kanya doon. 95% yung approval, ibig sabihin wala rin hindi nag-approve sa kanyang performance. Pero ang tanong nga, mga hindi naman niya kakampi, ano ba nagawa niya? But that's common. No? We always see a president being held more accountable and not getting the same numbers as the vice president. With the exception, of course, of Rodrigo Duterte, because basically, binigyan niya ng posisyon si VP Lenny, mamaya-maya, nung ginagawa yung trabaho, biglang tinanggal, di ba? Kasi baka ma-upstage yung presidente.
Huwag mo na paalala sa akin, medyo traumatized pa ako dyan sa pangyayaring yan.
Parang naalala ko yung meeting nun, buddy. Pero yun yung basic na ano. But it's really, yung approval kasi, some people will refer to it as a popularity thing. But your popularity can also decline because people are dissatisfied with the things that are happening. And who will they hold accountable? They would not hold accountable the spare tire. They would hold accountable the person who is actually or who should be calling the shots.
Pero Ronnie, dito sa NCR, we're talking about NCR, the vice president rose by 6 points. But what would account for the rise of 6 points from December to March 2026?
Well, That's a good question, Edwin, and I do not have a response.
Can it be, meron akong theory kasi kanina. Can it be social media? Kasi before, ang nanonotice namin, NCR numbers are very, very heavily affected by social media activity dahil kami halos lahat ng tao online.
Right.
Kinukuha tingin mo ba may factor yon?
May factor yun, but to begin with, yung 6 points is within the survey-to-survey margin of error.
Okay.
Kailangan sobrang ng 12 puntos yan bago masabing significant yan.
Okay.
Pero yung tinaas sa 6 points, maaaring yan. Kasi pag tinanong natin, kayo ba'y may access sa internet? Lagpas na siyam sa 10 sa NCR may access sa internet. Kung ikukumpara natin 7 out of 10, let's say in Mindanao or in the Visayas. So they might be much more affected, but the change is really not statistically significant to begin with from survey to survey. Yun nga lang. At hindi naman nalalayo rin yung approval ng presidente sa approval ng vice-presidente sa NCR kahit yung kanilang class rating sa NCR. Medyo mas nagiging critical yung NCR kung ikukumpara sa ibang areas for both the vice president and the president. So may impact yan in terms of if you wish to find out what predict might happen in 2028, definitely mas magalaw ang NCR kung ikukumpara doon sa Mindanao. Yung Mindanao parang foregone conclusion na yun
Yeah.
Pero Ronnie, I'm looking at the surveys from April 2025 to March 2026. Parang none of these surveys, all of these surveys, the numbers are all statistically insignificant from survey monthly, quarter to quarter surveys. Parang is it a sign that our people are already very polarized, that they're not moving so much na? Kasi
Pwede mo sabihin na medyo may pagka-polarized na. Pero aggregate number kasi, sa akin ang nakikita ko dyan, gumagalaw yung ilang sub-national areas, which is NCR and Balance of Luzon. Hindi gumagalaw yung Mindanao. So kumbaga, parang bagyo yan hinihigop ng hangin galing ng Mindanao. Yung pataas, yung mababang rating ng vice-presidente sa ibang area. So eventually, if you look at how this would play up to 2028, if the vice president who's declared that she will be running in 2028, even if she keeps Mindanao, the other areas are still open. Okay. It will largely depend on what others who will be eyeing the position in 2028 would do in order to court support in NCR, Balance of Luzon, which will constitute about 6 out of 10 voters. And then in the Visayas, because the Visayas is split into 4 regions, some of which are not necessarily as supportive, with the exception of probably Central Visayas on the Vice President.
To what would you attribute yung specific question on Balance Luzon? Kasi interested lang ako dahil to what would you attribute yung seeming reversal ng positions nila doon Kasi di ba parang in general, mas mataas ang approval ni VP Sara kay BBM at mas mataas ang disapproval ni BBM if you look at the totality. Pero in Balance Luzon, baliktad. Si BBM enjoys a majority approval and Sara Duterte, at least sa Balance Luzon, mas mataas ang kanyang disapproval numbers kaysa sa kanyang approval numbers. Anong tingin mong source nung ganong? Anong explanation for that?
Well, potentially, one source would be basically mas may access sila sa information even in the Balance of Luzon,
Okay.
In areas that are closer to the metropolis, for example. The other thing is maybe the administration has poured much more resources in terms of those areas, knowing that the other areas are really beyond their capacity to mobilize support from. Third, and this is more in terms of voting, medyo mas fluid ang voting pattern sa Balance of Luzon. Malaki ang populasyon dyan, pero mas mahina ang ethno-linguistic dyan, maliban na lang siguro sa Ilocos.
Okay.
Kasi dispersed. Kadamihan dyan Tagalog Mga Ilocos and Bicol lang medyo may concentration Pero kalakihan ng botante dyan, talaga Tagalog o halo-halo, na hindi naman necessarily bumoboto. Unless yung may Kapampangan na tumakbo.
Na 2%.
Na 2% lang. So,
Nanay ko,
hindi ko pa daw-
nakakapampangan. Proud ako
nanay,
sa 2%
nanay ko,
namin.
nanay ko rin, taga-Lubaw kami. So,
Kami, taga-Makabebe.
di ba? Makabibi kayo. So, so yun. But that's one explanation, really. You have more access to information. There might be more programs in these areas that have been implemented by the administration across the past months or the past year. And then, of course, subsequently, and even in the past, mas divided yung area kumpara, mas open sila towards this swinging towards the administration or towards someone else. Kaya very fluid yung nakikita. Mas fluid sa balance of Luzon kung i-compara natin sa ibang areas.
So if elections were held 6 months from now, using this as a benchmark, kunyari ako, I'm the opposition, I will give up Mindanao. Kay Sara, say, I won't spend too much resources in Mindanao. So I will work on NCR, Balance of Luzon, and Visayas. Or do I consider also Visayas? Kasi parang may laban pang Visayas eh. Kasi may Cebuano speaking, may mga Waray speaking, may Ilonggo speaking. So the battlefield will be Luzon and NCR, Balance of Luzon, and Visayas. Is that a correct strategy of working out?
Yeah, it would be a correct strategy, but you should not give up any area because there are some ways by which you can mobilize support in some areas. But do not rely on those areas as areas that will provide you a substantive share of the votes. Okay. Tama ka niya, Edwin. Kunyari, pag hindi may Visayas, so may Eastern, may Western, may Negros Island, may Western Visayas, and Central Visayas. Kahit yung Central Visayas, yun ang probinsya ba doon? Bohol, Cebu. Ano pa ba? Siquijor? Nakalimutan ko na.
Kasi parang, Ronnie, when you say don't give up any province, kasi you're talking of finite resources eh. So we need for the best. But like for instance, you're talking of Mindanao, ilang percent dyan, the rule of thumb right now, I think is 85%. Kay Sara na may 15%.
80%.
80-20. So, di parang, how much resources do I pour in to get the 20% or even a little bit more? Incremental lang makukuha ko dyan, di ba? Parang, that's a dilemma of some. I'd rather go into more fertile grounds to harvest rather than a medyo mahirap mag-harvest na sa Mindanao. I don't know if that's Barry's way of thinking also, but maano eh.
Well, yeah.
Ako, may last question na lang ako before we move on to yung discussion ng survey results on the issues. Binanggit mo kasi kanina na in your view, one of the reasons kung bakit medyo mababa ang approval ni BBM is yung lack of movement on the flood control issue. Diba? He promised last year, November,
right.
Bago magpasko may makukulong, and obviously hindi nangyari yon unless you count Bong Revilla as the fulfillment of that promise. So, ang tanong ko, if he does actually deliver in the next, sabihin natin, in the next 2 months, may mga makulong na mga senador, congressman, do you think that will have a significant impact on yung approval numbers niya?
Yeah, it would have an impact, but how significant, it will depend on who that senator or congressman is.
Okay.
So,
but in that regard, Ronnie, but Ronnie, in that regard, you can game the field surveys. Kasi if you know that there's going to be a next quarter will be April, May, June. June lalabas. So I'll game it. I'll just arrest some senators sometime around May. So that top of mind yan, di ba?
So, hihintayin mo talaga yung survey?
Yeah, I mean, that's how you game it, di ba?
And unfortunately, corruption is not the only issue. The primary issue is inflation. And inflation is becoming a much more difficult issue for people to deal with at this point in time.